Hi, and welcome to this conversation about beauty. I'm Tamsin Jones. I don't know how you view beauty in your world, in your life, but it's something that's always been with us. If you look at the ancient Greeks and sculpture, if you look at Indigenous Australian cave paintings depicting scenes and ideas in illustration form, or even the way we swipe left or swipe right on our phone, depending on how we perceive someone else's beauty. There are all of these forms that we have around us, and we get to choose, but maybe there are other forms too in the way we relate to other people. I recently became accustomed to this term, this Polynesian term of va, and it's the space between us. So I want to consider today what would happen if we considered the space between us beautiful. I'm going to start with an illustration of beauty from my own life. I love art, and when I was living in South Africa, I went to a gallery and found this extraordinary painting. I knew it was extraordinary for me because I was drawn to it. And if the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, there is a part of it that is our decision to make about what is beautiful. And we have many choices. And for me, this picture was so exquisite. It was a picture of a young South African girl smiling from ear to ear, very optimistic and super engaging. So I sat there and I looked at it for a while, and I knew I wanted to buy this picture. Before I bought this picture, I wanted to know who she was, who the artist was, what their ideas were around this, what it all meant really, because I wanted to understand it fully, because it was this thing of beauty. And when they gave me the picture, I held it so carefully. We wrapped it, I held it carefully, I put it in the car, I took it out carefully, I lay it down, I carefully measured the wall, I put the hole in, the nail in the wall, I hung it, and then I spent a lot of time, watching this, looking at this picture. In fact, I put it behind me, behind where I sit at my desk, so when I'm on these Zoom calls that we're all on, I could see her smiling over my shoulder, and anyone that came onto the call could also appreciate it. So when we find something beautiful, it has kind of, I guess, a way of drawing our attention. And in that way, it matters. I was recently watching a clip on Visions for a Good Society by a philosopher called Alain de Botton. And in his vision for a good society, one of the things that occurred is that 11-year-olds didn't want to be beautiful anymore. That struck me as a parent. But it's not uncommon in the consumerist society that we live in that ideas of beauty are kind of fed to us, and they're intoxicating, and we know that. So I might ask you, what is intoxicating for you right now? What is drawing your attention? And is it something that is consumer focused, or is it something that's bringing you a sense of life and connection? Coming back to this concept of va, there is a way of bringing beauty into the space in between us, into the relational space that we coexist with other people. And when we do that, it alights our senses. It alights our sense of connection with each other. It alights the way we see and move with each other and around each other. One great example of va is a cartoon. I don't know if you've seen Moana, but it's a beautiful cartoon set on an island. And in this particular scene, I'm going to describe Moana as a tiny baby. She's crawling out onto the beach. She wants to play with the ocean. And she sits there, just looking peacefully. The ocean starts to play with her, and then she sees a turtle, and the turtle's starting to walk down to the ocean. And instead of grabbing the turtle and picking it up and putting it in the ocean, she basically, with no words, creates space between her and the turtle that the turtle knows it's safe. She creates a space with a leaf she holds over it to stop the birds that are trying to take the turtle before it gets into the ocean. And in response, the ocean opens up a space for her to look inside, and she sees the coral and the fish. I want to give this story to you to ask you this question of what is the va that you have with your family, with your partner, with your friends, in your organization? Are you seeing it and treating it as a thing of beauty, as a thing of possibility to open up the kind of, if you think about opening up the ocean, what might be the ocean that would unlock in the space around you? So as you move into your day, into your week, I encourage you to consider this concept of va, not just the person in front of you, but what is the space that you're creating in between you, and how would you describe it, and how might you create the va as a thing of beauty?